Hello and welcome to Last Moment Preparation. Today we are going to have a look at the while loop in Java. The while loop in Java allows us to repeat a block of code as long as a certain condition remains true. Unlike the for loop, the while loop is great when we don't know how many times we want the loop to run. It just keeps checking the condition before each iteration and the loop will continue until the condition becomes false. Here's the basic syntax of while loop. The keyword while followed by round brackets which includes a condition. Needs to be a boolean. Then it is followed by curly brackets which contain the code that will be executed inside the while loop. So what is the condition? This is the only thing that controls the loop. As long as the condition is true, the loop will run. Then our code block, the block of code inside the while loop will execute again and again until the condition turns false. Now let's look at a practical example to get a better understanding. So let's say we want to count from 1 to 5 using a while loop. Here's how we can do that. So let me just declare a variable and initialize it to 1. Then we will write the syntax of while loop. So if I say I should be less than equal to 5, and let's write the code block. So the space is not at all required. Then what I can do is system.out.println, and I'll say just print I. Now if you see here, there is no increment or decrement rule, right? So we need to increment the variable I that is used in the condition manually. So what I'm going to do is I plus plus. So I plus plus is technically equivalent to I is equal to I plus 1. So basically it is an increment by 1. So our first example is ready. We initialize I to 1. The loop checks condition if I is less than equal to 5. Then we have, after each iteration, we have also ensured that we are incrementing I by 1. So let's go to our terminal. All right. So let us first compile it by saying java c, then file's name. All right. Then I'll say java. Okay. So you can see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 got printed. Now, one thing to be careful about while loops is infinite loops. If you forget to update the condition inside the while loop, then what happens is this condition that we have mentioned inside the while loop will always turn out to be true and the loop will execute infinitely. So if we just miss to update the variable I each time, then this will keep printing 1 endlessly because the value of I never changes. So always make sure to update the loop variable. Let's look at a more practical use case. Imagine you want to keep asking a user for input until they enter a certain value. So I have already discussed taking user inputs in a previous video. So I'll just clear this one, and here we are going to take user input. So I'll need to import java.util.scanner. Let's keep it imported, and in fact I'll just make its object right away. Scanner is equal to new scanner, and I want the input from system.in. All right, then what I want is I'll just create a string input which is going to be empty for now. We will populate this through user input. So what I'll say is continue this loop until the input is not equal to. So here the equals is a method that actually compares the value of variable with the string passed to equals method. So what I'm going to say is maybe by. So until users types by, this loop is going to continue because the condition is going to be true. So what I can say is system.out.println, I'll say type anything you want, and in bracket I'll also mention type by to exit. All right, so this should work, and we also need to take that input actually. So I'll say input equals to scanner dot next line. All right, so this should be it, and it should work. So what I can do is we can go to terminal, and we'll just compile this, then run this, and now we have type anything you want, type by to exit. So I'll say last moment prep. Okay, it is still continuing. Then again we will just give inputs individually. I'll say last, I'll say moment, I'll say Java tutorial. Now it is going to continue until I give by as an input. So let's try if it exits as we have defined in the condition. So I'll say by, and you can see the program has terminated. So this is how you can practically explore while loops in Java. Now in this example, the loop keeps running as long as user doesn't type by. The loop is great for cases where you don't exactly know how many times you want the loop to continue running. So to summarize, the while loop is great for running code as long as a condition remains true. Be careful of infinite loops. Make sure your condition is updated inside the loop. Use cases like user input or event based triggers are where while loop really shines. And that's it for today's breakdown of while loop in Java. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Last Moment Preparation for more quick coding tutorials. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.